Welcome. Oops. Welcome, everybody, to Straight Outta Austin, episode 90. 10 away. 10 away from making it. This is Prometheus.
My name...
No, go ahead.
No, he said chat away. I thought he was going to start, and my name is Bobby Beetle.
I'm Agamemnon.
No, I was saying we're 10 away.
We're 10 away?
From episode 100.
The big 100.
The milestone.
Man, getting so old.
I know, right? Now we're getting senile.
Yeah, dude, I think we're in an old folks home right now.
Yeah. That explains why I pooped my pants.
How you guys doing?
It all makes sense now. Doing pretty good.
My stomach hurts really bad.
Too much pizza. I told you.
So we're doing Straight Outta Austin, right?
Yeah.
I just ate an entire large pizza.
Yeah, see?
I don't know if you're...
And you wonder why your stomach hurts?
Well, granted, it's the only thing I've eaten all day.
Well, that also contributes.
But it was a lot of pizza. There was a lot of cheese. I think I ate like a pound of cheese.
Well, that type of pizza, it's Jet's Pizza for the listeners that are wondering what we're gorging on. That's a lot of cheese, just like, not just for a pizza.
It's really rich.
It's just like a shitload of cheese. Like, you take a slice, like half the cheese falls off, and you still have the amount of cheese you'd have for a regular pizza.
Oh my God.
Like, it's what Cheetos would dub dangerously cheesy.
Yeah.
Like, it wears that moniker very well.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Alright, so let's just jump into this.
I thought we were going to talk more about pizza.
No.
I don't know if you're saving the topic for later,
pizza,
but are you going
though.
to talk about the UFC fight?
I mean, yeah, sure. Speaking of dangerously cheesy, how about bad decisions? How about awful decisions? How about you beat somebody's ass for 5 rounds? Like, you know what? You still lost.
Yeah, for those of
Saw
you
the
that keep up with the UFC 168
all
or
one of you
67.
listening.
Something like that.
60-something. I don't know.
Anyways, it was GSP versus Johnny
Well,
Hendricks
162.
for the championship, welterweight championship. And it was a great 5 rounds.
Yeah, it was.
It was really awesome. Johnny Hendricks, he dominated most of the fight, and a lot of people thought that he was going to walk away with being crowned the new champ.
Mm-hmm.
And nope, GSP retained it by a split decision.
Well, GSP had him right where he wanted him, bell to bell. All those punches he took to the face and all those takedowns he failed to get, he was luring him to false sense of confidence.
I feel like GSP knew he lost because he's like, I think I'm going to retire. And, like, yeah, I feel like he just, like, wanted to retire the champion because he knew he was about to lose.
You know, the funny thing is, there are rumors he was going to make a statement like that ahead of time. But I mean, if he really was just like, I retire as a champion, I would have had so much bad respect, because that's exactly what I would do. Like, well, I finally met my match, I should have lost, but retire as a champion and just drop the belt and walk off.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of MMA fighters have that excuse cocked and ready to go, though. It's like when they lose like a big match, they'll be like, well, I was going to retire anyways, and plant that seed. Like, how many of them have retired, like, already, like, several times?
To be honest, though, actually, a lot of them, when they lose, like, they want to come back and fight that much more.
But
because, like very few fighters retire on top. Like, they fight until, like, a gust of wind can knock them out.
Yeah,
you
if
know?
you look at Chuck Liddell, Randy Couture,
what about
even, like,
Randy Couture
Rampage in his twilight.
Randy Couture got freaking Karate Kid kicked in the mouth and his tooth knocked out before. He's like, you know what? I think I'm done now.
Yeah. Today I'm going to retire
I'm
tonight,
just
right
gonna
now.
make Expendables
Did Diaz say he was going to, like, retire when, like, Condit beat him?
Yeah.
And then, like, BJ Penn said he was going to retire, and then Anderson Silva said he was already thinking about retiring when Weidman beat him. Like, every time after they lose, they say they're going to retire, and they're like, no, they're going to come back for a rematch, and then they just play regularly.
Okay, rebuttal. Nick Diaz always says that anytime he loses.
But I make it the point
BJ
that,
Penn says that. I guess you're right, but I guess my argument would just be that is the case with certain fighters.
With those fighters, okay.
Yeah. But Anderson Silva's been saying he's going to retire for like 5 years now.
Yeah.
He's like, oh no.
Yeah, and he's like 38 now.
Yeah. Like BJ Penn, anytime he loses. Well, BJ Penn also had more to do with the fact that his face got so mangled. Like, he looked like freaking hamburger helper.
That was pretty
Yeah.
bad.
And, he has kids now. He didn't want to go home looking like, freaking Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And then, Nick Diaz, like, unless you kill him, in his mind, he won.
Yeah.
Like, you literally have to knock him unconscious for him to give you any props.
Yeah, it's like if he feels like if he's still standing, then
He's still strong.
how does he lose?
Yeah, because his whole thing is like, well, if you just pin him down, like, you didn't win a fight. You didn't beat him up. You didn't win a fight.
Because, like, by all intents and purposes, I think I consider him as well, he is the definition of a legitimate fighter. Like, a fighter by definition.
Uh-huh.
Like, that's Nick Diaz.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And then when you look at someone, by the way, like GSP fights, where he's basically just wins off the point system.
Yeah,
Nick Diaz doesn't consider that a fighter per se.
Well, yeah, GSP approaches it more like a sport. He's winning points. He's doing what he needs to do to win, and he's. I won't go as far as saying exploiting the rules, but he knows the rules and he knows how to win.
Yeah,
For him, it's a sporting contest. It's not a brawl.
Yeah.
So I don't know. To each their own.
Yeah, and if you just look at pictures, like you look at GSP's face from the other night, and then you look at Johnny Hendricks wearing a ball hat and like really thin framed glasses, and just like, oh, this guy looks like he's gonna sit down and read a book to his kid. You look at GSP, it's like, wow, he just got whooped up by like 20 dudes.
Yeah.
How about that Sonnen and Evans fight?
Oh my God, GLP still undefeated, undisputed.
Yeah, oh man, it was so. What happened?
Well, let me tell you. It was kind of a combination of things. Like, Chael Sonnen's one of those people that breaks, and Rashad's one of those people where if he decides he actually wants to do more than stare at his opponent for 15 to 25 minutes, he's very damn good. Like, on paper, he's better than Sonnen in every department.
Was that fight stopped properly?
I think so, because Chael wasn't doing anything. I mean, he would have just kept wailing on him for another 10 years. Yeah. He would still be punching him now. Even Chael at the post-fight press conference was like, yeah, if they hadn't stopped the fight, I would still be on my stomach, not able to get up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, Chael wasn't going to do anything more. And Rashad's someone who I can't root for just because he's too hot and cold. Because he'll have a fight like that where he looks badass. Like, this dude can beat anybody.
Yeah.
And then his next fight, he's just like, let's go look at this guy's eyes for 15 minutes
like
and see what's
Jones.
going on. Yeah, like
that was a kind of different thing about it,
yeah. Yeah. With that, at least there was like the personal stuff. But against like Lil Nog, he should have destroyed him as easily as he destroyed Sonnen. Instead, he just looked at him, just gazed into the blue waters of his eyes. So I don't know, Rashad. I would love to root for Rashad, but he just frustrates me too much. Like, I feel like the typical sports fan where I just want to throw something at the screen, like, come on, hit him already!
Start trying.
Yeah, basically, I can do that. I can stand there, look, blink a couple times.
What other fights were there on the card?
You got to see Josh Koscheck get knocked the fuck out.
Oh, yeah, I think
Tyron Woodley.
I think I saw a clip of that,
he got clipped too.
That was a fun fight, but it was a little too short, but it was really good.
Well, his chin can only take so many bombs.
Who was the dude that Koscheck was fighting?
Tyron Woodley.
Is he pretty well known, or
somewhat? He's kind of.
He has a lot of potential to be like a top 10, and I think he's headed that way. But he's kind of like in the twilight of his career because he's like 31, 32.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's really the twilight. For a lot of fighters, that's kind of their peak. His problem is he has the same Rashad effect,
peak, yeah.
Where he just like some fights will be like the Koscheck fight, other fights he's just sitting there just staring at him, making googly eyes and shit. But to me, my favorite fight was probably Robbie Lawler and Roy McDonald, where he just beat the hell out of him.
Oh, yeah, Robbie Lawler took that, didn't he?
Yeah.
He dismantled the hype train.
Knocked his fucking hipster glasses off. It was beautiful.
Did he just go rampage on him, like, towards...
Pretty much. Like, he just was unrelenting, And he even came out with a game plan. Like, I was thinking he wasn't going to be able to get, like, past McDonald's striking because it's really crisp. But the thing is, like, him and GSP are the same, where they have very precise, very crisp striking, but they don't throw anything with power.
Yeah.
So you get someone like Johnny Hendricks or what's his name now?
Henderson?
No, not Henderson. The guy that beat up Roy McDonald.
Oh, Robbie Lawler.
Yeah, Robbie Lawler. Yeah, Lawler or Hendricks, like, you got to hit them with power to stop them, to even stop them from moving forward. So if they know that you're not going to hurt them, then they have nothing to fear. They're just going to beat the fuck out of you, which they both did,
And that was evident in both of them, because they're pretty much like, Rory McDonald's just like a mini version of GSP.
Yeah.
They're even the same training camp.
He's the Canadian guy that trains with him, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they have a lot of the same tactics. The only thing is that GSP, everything's tailored to GSP's likings, whereas Roy McDonald is trying to emulate something that isn't 100% tailored for him, and trying to make that work.
I mean, he has his own style because he doesn't rely on the takedown nearly as much.
Yeah, that's true.
But he still has like that very slow, technical style.
Yeah, And with Robbie Lawler or Johnny Hendricks, it's like they were just throwing amounts of jabs, volumes of jabs, and it's like they didn't have not even like a mark on them.
Yeah.
I don't know, especially with Robbie Lawler, that fight was much more exciting to me because it just seemed so evident. He won by a unanimous decision, wasn't it?
I think it might have been split.
Okay.
But either way, I mean, he deserved unanimous.
Yeah.
Dude, Hendricks was cheesing like at the start of every round. He had a big ass smile on his face, like he was just happy to be there.
It was growing out of his beard.
Yeah, but Lawler, like he was like for every step that McDonald took back, Lawler was taking like 2 steps forward, and he wasn't letting him breathe, and that was like a huge issue for Rory McDonald. Like you could see him start sweating, and then like he would try to take Lawler to the ground, and like Lawler was stopping him. He's a dude that, from what you told me, doesn't usually have very good ground defense.
Yeah, he's not great, but I mean, I guess he's good enough, especially when you're shooting desperate shots. But that's the thing, like, no one's ever pressured Rory McDonald. That's why it's just like, you know, that's kind of why they put Robbie Lawler against him. They're like, oh, he can get this experience, and he's probably going to just keep him at bay, pick him apart, and the complete opposite happened. Like, he found out what happens when someone actually comes to fight, you know? Instead of just staring at him like freaking Ellenberger. It's like, hey, what's going on? Hey, see you across the cage there, buddy. I guess let's try and punch you, but I'm not gonna. Until like 10 seconds in the last round.
Yeah.
So, but that was pretty much the card. I mean, I would say it was pretty good. It wasn't great, but it was good. It was overall entertaining.
Worthy of the 20th anniversary.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, just like the controversy to come out of the main event alone was, I don't know. That was entertaining enough for me.
Yeah.
Because like I was just thinking in my head like, yeah, they're gonna give it to GSP. And then when they did, everyone's like, oh, bullshit. And I was just laughing. I'm like, I knew it. I knew it.
All right, let's move on.
So moving on to something that I think people will be very excited about. Let me see. Where is it? Wrong link. Dead air. So I'm sure plenty of people listening and also people on this podcast are fans of The Walking Dead. So what have I told you? There's going to be more Walking Dead coming live, huh?
I would say tell me more.
Yeah, I will tell you
Can
more.
you tell me more right now?
AMC Studios, in a joint statement with Maine Department of Film and Television Production, today announced that The Walking Dead will film a live episode in Maine next month. The live episode entitled "Snow Falling on Zombies" will be the first of the blockbuster show about life after a zombie apocalypse. Our actors have been longing for a challenge, AMC spokesperson Robin Romero explained to this modern philosopher. That's the name of the site. Going live was the answer. Maine's woods are perfect standards for the forest that's around the prison in the show, and will save both money and time by not hiring extras to get them into zombie makeup. AMC explained that the entire episode would take place in the woods and focus on a small group that gets lost during the sandstorms, was fight both the elements and the walkers to make it back to the prison. No official word yet on the characters that'll make the trip to Maine, but Andrew Lincoln, Rick Grimes, and Norman Reedus, Daryl Dixon were both present for the announcement. This modern philosopher assumes that it'll be Rick and Daryl heavy episode. Rick said, "I'm over the moon at the idea of doing a live episode of television," he admitted after the big announcement. "While I love doing the show, it can be quite monotonous after a time. The rush of doing a live broadcast with real zombies coming at me. It's every actor's dream. Just hope I won't be so giddy that I muddle it all up and fall back into my British accent." As for those live zombies, AMC plans to film in the North Woods where the population is not as dense and can be easily controlled by the Maine zombie hunters and Maine Zombie Census Bureau agents. He will always be just off camera to ensure the actors are never in danger. So, it's really good. They're going to use real zombies for this live production.
I can see how it'd be monotonous to play just like a going crazy Rick in like every episode.
Yeah, no, right. It's like, can I play not Crazy Rick? No, you get back to your cage. And they really just keep the actors in the prison.
You stay sweaty and stressed out.
I don't know. I really just want to read that part where he's like, yeah, hope I don't slip back into my accent. But obviously, it just gets more like ridiculous as you read the article because like it starts off where it's like a live episode of Walking Dead. Like sounds interesting, but not very plausible. And then as you read it, it's like, oh, so they're going to fight real zombies? It's just like, I remember I was reading this before the podcast. I was like, oh, this is a joke. So you sons of bitches. I should have knew. The second I saw live in Maine, should have known, because no one wants to film anything
live
in Maine. Yeah, but I don't know. That was funny. It was a pretty good, like, gag. And it didn't really blow it.
Play with my emotions.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. It's going to be filmed in front of a live studio audience, just the way sitcoms used to be. The only difference is this audience will be undead. But I don't know. I don't know if you guys saw the last episode of The Walking Dead. Very.
I didn't realize the new season even started.
Yeah, I think you mentioned on the last podcast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
5 episodes in, only 3 more to go.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
For the half season.
I didn't catch last night's episode.
Oh, I'll tell you this much: the governor's in it.
Oh, well, I figured as much.
And he's got a beard for Movember.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm watching the 2nd season of 24.
Boop. Nobody cares.
What?
Are they going to do a live episode of 24?
Is it The Walking Dead? Is Andrew Lincoln in it?
Do you have any idea how good 24 is?
I don't.
You have any good how good this season of The Walking Dead is?
Hey man, I watched The Walking Dead. I'm just a little bit behind. 5 episodes behind.
Hey, take 24 hours and watch the episodes that you missed.
I'll watch one of them tonight.
Jack Power will be proud of you. Well, if you're going to watch an episode, you might as well watch Game of Thrones. I think you'll be more thrilled with that one.
What is your beef with that show?
I don't know.
Hey guys, I splurged $50 bought the first season and only watched an episode.
It's like I don't know. It's like every time I put it out, I was just like, hey, like I already have Netflix up. I'm just gonna continue a show that I'm in the middle of watching.
I think it's too good.
It might be like because I know I'm gonna have to like dedicate like a lot of time to that show.
Just take a week off of work.
Like I already know 24. Yeah, I do.
Just watch nothing but.
True.
I will agree with the whole Netflix thing. I'm very lazy about DVDs now. It's like I have to get all the way up, walk 3 feet, and put it in my PlayStation. I can just press 2 buttons.
I do that with a lot of games too. Like I'll literally like get a game, put it in the PS3, and then start up Netflix. Like nope, I don't even want to play this game anymore. I just want to play Netflix.
I don't have time for spinning discs.
Don't.
But on the subject of Game of Thrones, Jar Jar R. Martin calls fan fiction writers lazy. Yeah, that's right.
He calls what?
To what extent?
Fan fiction. Basically, he said, I don't know. They made it seem more harsh, like in the title. It was like he was just like mocking. But he says it's a lazy way to go when you're just taking my characters. I recognize that it's an act of love. I would rather they make up their own characters, their own stories, not just borrow my world. These characters are real to me. I've been living with them since 1991. I know what they would do and what they can't do. And some fan writers take them over, make them do things that are wildly out of character. There you go, fan fiction writers. If you're going to take his characters, at least make them true to their characters. Can't have Daenerys running out and, I don't know, marrying Tyrion because they're your favorite characters. That's silly. All right?
Is it fan fiction if there's like those gay photos of like Sam and Frodo from Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, that would also count as fan fiction.
Okay.
That's more like Yao. But,
what is Yao?
I mean,
Yaoi.
Yaoi is like hentai, but for chicks. But like this.
No, it's not like hentai. It's just it's male on male romance.
Yeah,
that's what Yaoi is.
Yeah, it's just it's male homosexual romance.
It's like pretty much like
it's
like
not hentai because there's no like butt fucking. It's just making out and romance, like soap opera. But with dudes.
But yeah, they do it a lot. Like with like Naruto, they'll have like Naruto and Sasuke and stuff.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Hello, Naruto. This is a fucking deep ass voice.
I mean, there's yaoi hentai, but then like if you're talking about fan fiction, like there's just straight up yaoi as well.
Yeah, but yeah, that would also constitute fan fiction. I don't think that would even be like what would piss him off though if they're like, hey, how about Jon Snow and Robb get together? But it's more people where like they just want to write like their own stories, like this is what really happens, and it's like. It's kind of an extreme response because most people feel like, oh, I feel so awesome. People love my characters enough to do it.
Yeah.
But it's like I like reading the books, like not even more so than the show. It's like he goes into like such detail. I can see why he would be offended because it's like literally for him, it's like his characters are his children. Yeah. So it's like someone taking his children and like raising them as their own.
He kills his children.
He does exactly. Those are his to kill. All right. Yeah. He brought them into this world and he will snuff them out at the appropriate time.
Great.
So I don't know. I just thought it was funny when I was reading that, but I don't know. I can just see people reading that and getting really butthurt. Like, oh, he doesn't care about his fans. All they want to do is enjoy writing about dragons, and I don't see why he doesn't let them write about dragons. But
I mean, you can always just tell them to fuck off.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know what? I'm just gonna post this shit anyways.
Well, that's the whole thing. I mean, obviously, it's one of those things. I'm pretty sure he didn't go in his blog and just start writing about it. It's like I'm sure somebody asked him, and he's like, "Well, here's my opinion since you asked me." But yeah, I mean, it's not like he's not like saying like I'm gonna send a cease and desist. He's just like I personally don't like it, but whatever.
I think it's lazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things, especially if you're getting into writing, it's obviously a lot easier to write someone else's characters first while you're kind of getting your style. So I even want to say like some comic writers, like that's how they start. So
like Kevin Smith, like writing like a Batman arc or something like that.
Yeah, they just like write their own Batman story, and then they get into something. But the thing I think is interesting though is he hates fan fiction, but he doesn't hate adaptations. Because the TV show's an adaptation, there's a comic book adaptation, and there's a video game adaptation. Like, that's cool.
That's even more, like, extreme
than
just
money
fan fiction.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That's
it's
true.
Like, I hate fan fiction because I ain't getting paid.
Yeah.
He needs some gold dragons.
Yeah,
I ain't selling my bitches.
It's kind of ridiculous.
I want that Arbor gold, bitch. Needs all the gold in Casterly Rock.
I don't know, maybe he was just in a mood that day.
Well, he said it before. Like, I've seen interviews. Like, I don't know, he kind of... His opinion kind of like changed a little bit. It almost seems like he's more salty about it than he was before.
I wish he'll say that to Tarantino. So Tarantino's like, I simply lifted it. What was that?
That'd be hilarious, Tarantino. Can you imagine Tarantino's The Game of Thrones?
He's got like a Bob Dylan song in the background.
yeah, all these songs out of context.
So good, but they're stylish as fuck scenes.
Yeah. Yes, you deserve to be sacrificed to the Lord of Light, and I hope you burn in hell.
Really long conversational scenes about like,
lemon.
Where do you go to get milk? It's just like, damn, that's deep.
I wonder how the pop culture references would work at a time where like none of that stuff exists.
I'd be willing to see it only if Tarantino did it. I won't see anybody else try that.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
I don't know. I can get down with that. I would like to see a Tarantino fan fiction of a George R.R. Martin production.
Yeah.
Just to see. I think it would actually just crash and burn, but it would be a nice train wreck to watch.
I would like to watch it.
Yeah.
Can't be any worse than Red State.
Oh, God, Red State.
That movie just popped in my head because somebody was talking about it earlier.
Oh, because you're just talking about train wrecks.
Because somebody said it was good. Like,
a lot of people seem to like it. I don't see how.
Did we nitpick too much at that movie?
I don't think so. Because I didn't go into it wanting to hate it at all. I went into it really excited because I remember that was when I was still listening to Kevin Smith's podcast, and every podcast had like this big advertisement where he's like, "We're gonna do it like Rand style, where we're gonna go state to state and have an opening," you know, because he's doing it like independently.
Yeah.
And then I remember hearing the premise; it's gonna be like more of a horror movie. Like I came in there like excited, and I watched it, and it starts off okay, and it gets all right. Then they get to the church where like the meat of the whole movie happens, and where the guy's like wrapped up in like the saran wrap. I was like, oh, this is creepy. And I'm thinking it's going to be more of that. I'm like, man, this is going to be really good. Mm-hmm. And then that was like as good as it got.
Because right at that point is when he gives like that fucking 15-minute sermon.
Yeah,
like,
that part was so weird.
Like when he shows the boy like in the saran wrap, he goes in like a fucking 15-minute sermon. And just like, come on, literally like what we're just watching with the BF4 playthrough. Just like, we're in a boat,
an endless ocean of bullshit.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, I forgot about that scene. But yeah, it was just it was so unnecessary. It's like I understand you're trying to build like a mood, but it's like it doesn't work when you're making your audience so bored. But yeah, I think that was literally that was the point where the movie just went downhill. Yeah. And then when the SWAT team comes in and like nothing makes any sense.
It was just like a domino effect because it had that sermon and it was like, well, you're just like bored as fuck by the end.
Yeah.
You're just like, okay, like I got the point like fucking 15 minutes ago. And then that's like the part right after is when the kid tries to break out and he just does a terrible mess and doesn't use that gun that he gets.
Yeah, he picks
that's
up
when
like
that's when all the plot holes start forming. Just like, fuck, he didn't get that weapon. He should have gotten away. Why the fuck did that guy get shot? Just at that point, you're just like done with it. Well,
because that's the point where you can't suspend disbelief anymore. Yeah. Where it's just like none of the actions the characters do make any sense, and it just falls apart. Like nobody acts the way they're supposed to act. Like I can't remember the scene, but it's like the dad from Roseanne, like the way
John Goodman.
Yeah, because John Goodman was calling somebody that he should have authority over. I think I was just like, why is he asking these people for permission? Like, it didn't make any sense. I just remember like after it ended, I was just like, this is the movie that Kevin Smith is praising, and this is the one that he vehemently defends.
Yeah,
you know, like. I don't know.
I'd rather watch Mallrats.
Yeah, but that's the thing, too, because the people dogged on Mallrats, and he finally just like, all right, it's not a great movie. He was, like, very self-deprecating about it.
Yeah.
Like, I think he even made fun of it in one of his movies, I think in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. But Mallrats was funny. Like, I would watch Mallrats 1,000 times before I would watch Red State again.
See, fucking the whole, like where you, like, you can't suspend, like, you know, whatever disbelief. Like when when they're doing shit, like they only do things to further the plot of where it's supposed to go, but they didn't know how to portray it accurately. So they just have a bunch of plot holes. That's exactly the same thing I felt when I watched the Skyfall movie, James Bond.
Yeah.
That's all that movie is. There's just a whole bunch of cliches, and they just like go out of character to further the plot line. And M's supposed to die. Oh, but he's not going to kill her. So he saves the day, obviously, after like going to like fucking Arctic like water where he should have freeze, but he just gets out and he's dry all of a sudden. And then all of a sudden it's nighttime when it was just daytime. And then like he saves her and then she dies right after, but at least he didn't kill her. And it literally tells you what to feel and what's going to happen next when it happens in like the most cliche way. They say the most cliche lines, like the Q guy, that kid. He was just
would
like
expect an exploding pen.
Exactly. Yeah, he says that shit, and then he says the thing afterwards. He's just like, "Oh, he got into our mainframe. I don't know how he did this. Just computer language." And then he's just like, "Can you bypass?" He's like, "Of course, I invented it." You're like, "Don't fuck yourself." Yeah, you're just like everybody's a cliche. It was like badly written. They just make James Bond feel or do what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
So like, and then like they're trying to feel on like dead air and shit. You're just like. This is literally like somebody like this is what a James Bond movie has. Like none of it was original. Like none of it. That director didn't make anything his own. He just tried to make another James Bond movie. Oh, we gotta have the fancy intro with the crazy song and stupid fucking visuals with like him getting shot and going into a margarita cup. It's just like, dude, it was done by Sean Connery. Let Sean Connery and Timothy Dalton have those intros. Like. We're so past that,
Yeah.
Like, quit doing it just for that whole movie was like they did things just because it was James Bond.
That's what pissed me off about Skyfall was that the first two had this like underlying plot that was carrying out to where there was like this grand like a grander scheme that was going on. And so in Casino Royale, they got the bad guy, but then there was like people that were funding him. And then in the second movie, there's the plot, but then it's kind of also focusing on that same group. Yeah. And he's taking pictures of them. Yeah. But that was like a secondary plot to what was going on in the movie. And then the third, you're like, I can't wait to see where this is going. Are we going to find out what this organization is and who these guys identified are? It's like, no, they completely went off base with that, and they killed James Bond. Yeah. And then they bring in like basically Trevlin. Like an old Trevlin.
That's a perfect what it was. That's what I was thinking. I was like...
006.
And literally, when you watch that movie, it's the fucking X-Men Origin Syndrome, the Wolverine Origin Syndrome, where you got two actors trying their best. They had no support. Like, you got Javier Bardem. Like, how the fool... Like, that guy's like a fucking fantastic actor. He literally just said the most, like, they literally... I feel like when you look into his eyes in that movie, he's like, what the fuck am I saying right now? Why am I saying this stuff? Why am I so blonde right now? Yeah.
Like, he was really creepy in the movie.
He looked really good. And he was like, in every James Bond movie, they have to have the character, the evil guy with like the quirky thing about him, like. I really like the Casino Royale dude with like the bleeding eye. Oh yeah. Like it had nothing to do with the movie at all. He just had that quirk like all James Bond villains do. I think he was a good James Bond villain. Javier Bardem. Definitely. It's just the whole rest of the movie was just kind of like, oh, he got shot, he died. I know he's not going to be dead. If you try to make me feel like an impact on James Bond dying, don't do it in the first 5 minutes of the movie, because I know he's coming back. I have another hour to watch this movie. I know it's a fucking 120 minutes long.
The rest is just credits.
Yeah, it's just like,
that would have been pretty ballsy if they actually did kill him.
I would give him props for that.
That would have been badass.
I'd be like, okay, like, because I thought he was coming back in like the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And in this case, he did come back in the next 5 minutes. He's just like, oh, I got a beard, and I'm chilling out, and my country abandoned me. Oh, but I saw something on the news, so I'm going to go back, and I'm, like, the same day.
Yeah, I'm done.
He's like, I'm on the windowsill.
I'm done drinking scorpion cocktails. I'll just go back to England. But yeah, I don't know. Well, two things. One, like, I think it would have been cool, like, if they had killed him. Like, whenever they're done with Daniel Craig. Because, like, there's a whole, like, theory where, like, 007 and James Bond is just, like, it's more of a title than their actual name, even though that's completely, like... thrown out the window. When
in Skyfall, where you see the graves like Bond and Bond. I was like,
it's like now he just fucked it all up. Yeah, because it's like, okay, M is in the Pierce Brosnan film. Yeah, so it's like, well, that would have been perfect for it to transition to be like, well, then obviously they're, it's just a different person that takes that mantle. Yeah, that would have been cool, and that would have been cool if they did that in one of the movies where Daniel Craig just straight up dies first 5 minutes. Here's the new Bond.
Yeah, exactly. Because they've always had like the same character. Like they had like the old Q, like through all the James Bond movies.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's Timothy Dalton, that's Roger Moore, that's Sean Connery. But it's like the same Q guy. Like the Pierce Brosnan's one had like John Cleese Q, and then like they've always had the same characters, but they didn't like make a big fuss about it. It's not like they're part of a storyline. You know, like no, like they're just. Those are their titles. That's the new Q. Yeah. That's what let them do with the kid. I fucking hate that kid.
That kid was really annoying.
He's so annoying and like I just wanted him to. I want Daniel Craig to be Casino Royale James Bond and just shoot him in the head. Just like no.
Run him to a wall and off a cliff.
Yeah. I hated the intro too. Like it seemed like just trying too hard to be really entertaining. It was like the intro to Casino Royale was the best one I've ever seen.
Yeah, and then
with all the parkour.
Yeah, it was so good. That whole chase scene was just... Yeah, when the fucking dude, like, does the parkour through, like, that top of that wall, and he just busts through the drywall.
That was my favorite part of that.
Like, simple scenes like that, you see the differences in like, the James Bond, you like...
Or when he's, like, parkouring up the crane, James Bond literally gets on that little thing and, like, cuts the rope and flies up.
Yeah, exactly. You see the differences in these two characters. They show you that without telling you anything, you know? Like, nobody took the time to do any of that kind of visual hints and... telling a story without having people just like tell you the fucking plot.
Yeah.
Hey, we're doing this. I invent like the stupid shit. Like no, don't focus on dialogue. Like don't choose like idiots.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the first two Daniel Craig ones were really good. Like they had like that one like not to go off on too much of a tangent, but in Quantum of Solace, the freaking when he goes into the that play where like everybody's in tuxedos, he's like spying on all those fucking those powerful.
Yeah, the opera.
Oh,
yeah, the opera. Yeah, that whole scene was like quiet. It had no like audio. It was just like had the opera music, and it just had like James Bond. And he was like listening on the conversation. Then he like looks at them, and it's just the opera music going on, like all the gunshots and shit. Like that's fucking awesome. Like, there's nothing even like close to like that arty or thought out or imaginative in Skyfall. You're just like this is just a shitty James Bond movie.
Yeah, one of the things I hated the most is when he's chasing the villain and they're under that tunnel. And he has them like dead to rights on the fucking like ladder. This dude just tried to kill M, tried to kill him, shot some chick for like no reason. Like they're like, and the James Bond that they've established in the previous movies would have just killed him.
Yeah.
Like what reason did he have to not kill him right at that moment? Instead he waits. It lets him reach down to pull out like a little thing to set off a bomb. It's like you should have shot him just for reaching. First of all, like he could have pulled out a gun and shot him like right there. Yeah. It was just annoying. And then then they have their little I think because they just put that sloppy scene in there just for that stupid thing where it's like, oh, I hope that wasn't for me. It's like no, but that was. And the subway like almost hits him. Yeah. It's just like, come on, guys.
So dumb. Because then the second one, where he has to interrogate that dude, but he goes to the fucking like South American, like goes to his apartment. Yeah. The dude just straight up attacks him in the apartment. And they go to that whole like fucking CQC fight. He ends up stabbing the dude and killing him. Yeah. But he was supposed to interrogate him. Yeah. Like that's the kind of James Bond I want. Like he literally like just killed him. He's like, oh well, I just killed him. He tried to kill me though, but I don't give a fuck. And M's like, what did you get information out of? He's like, well, he was a dead end. He's like, oh, you can like that is fucking awesome. Like yeah, like literally his mission was to interrogate that guy and get information. Instead, he just killed him, went to the front desk and took his briefcase. I was like, yeah, that's the James Bond I want.
Yeah, because that's the whole thing. Because he's so reckless. Like,
yeah,
he's not
exactly.
Gonna stop me like, oh, let me take this guy into custody. Like, I'm gonna put a bullet between his eyes, you know?
Yeah, let alone reach for a fucking trigger.
Exactly. Yeah. It was like a poorly trained like security officer wouldn't let that slide. Like, hey, keep your hands where I can see. Hey, don't reach down there. Don't set off a bomb right next to my. Don't drop a subway. Come on.
That's my 2 cents on James Bond, but because I just saw Skyfall like on Friday.
Nice, I just saw it too. I've been wanting to see it for like a year, and then finally put it on Netflix. I was like, sweet.
Exactly, I saw Netflix too. Yeah, but yeah, that's it.
Just to be disappointed by it.
Yep. Well, no Bronco either.
Oh yeah, the most disappointing part of all.
Yep.
But what's not disappointing is The Preacher to come to AMC. No, Agamemnon's excited about that.
The comic?
Yeah, the comic.
With the Clint Eastwood type dude?
Yeah, by Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon. So supposedly, AMC has ordered.
Garth Ennis did the Ultimates?
No, he did The Boys.
That was Bendis.
Punisher Max.
No, that was Mark Miller.
Mark Miller, god damn it.
Get out of here, you non-nerd.
So I know I am.
Well, at least Ennis and Miller are both Scottish, so it's close enough. They were part of the British invasion.
What about Bendis? He's even anywhere close?
No, he's American.
Okay.
Continuity.
He's like Kingpin if Kingpin weighed 130 pounds.
Soaking wet.
Well, maybe like 180.
It's like Tim Bradstreet, like the most talented artist in the fucking world, and he's got like fucking. He wears sandals with socks.
Oh,
you're so dirty.
That hurts me so bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Preacher, like, maybe it was 3 years ago. As I recall, it was supposed to come on. They were going to do a series on Showtime, and they were in talks for the longest time.
No, it was longer than that.
Yeah,
That'd be at least 5-6 years ago.
But I mean, it was really disappointing because it's a really dark series. Only those type of channels can do it justice.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And then then it goes away. So it's really cool that nowadays they're able to bring it back. AMC has good shows, obviously, Walking Dead, Breaking Bad. I still think The Preacher is still not too dark, but too
vulgar.
Too morbid. Well, too graphic for AMC. I mean, obviously, AMC has zombies getting their heads crushed, but they don't have people fucking chickens.
Chickens are getting their balls eaten off by dogs.
I don't know. Always Sunny had an episode where a hobo fucking a hobo in the ass.
Yeah, but I think it's different.
No, it was a hobo masturbating in the corner. And everything was more or less suggestive than just like in the book, a dude's outright fucking a chicken. It's not like, hey, so and so's fucking a chicken. No, it was a inbred dude with a weird eye banging a chicken, and the chicken is on this full page splash panel going bang 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 with its feathers flapping around.
Oh my god.
And it was like, come here, I'm gonna sex you.
You got a pretty egg hole.
Yeah. I imagine they have the guy from Justified playing that role.
Oh my dude,
the
that would be
Sons?
great. Yeah, Walter Goggins.
There you go, Walter Goggins.
Oh man, that would make my day. But yeah, so I don't know. I've never read.
Actually, I think he would actually make a good preacher.
Oh, you think so?
With the crazy hair that he has.
Yeah.
Sure, he's a good actor. He has a good range too.
I think he'd actually. I think Goggins would actually make a really good. I always forget his name, but I think he'd actually make a really good preacher.
And Timothy Oliphant will be the chicken fucker.
That would be hilarious. Do you still feel justified, brother? But yeah, I don't know. But either way, I mean, I mean, obviously they're gonna have to tone that type of stuff down anyway. So I mean, I think AMC is still a good home for it. And it might be better where it's not going to be as over the top, so they can just stay with the core of the story, Because I don't know, it's almost like, well, obviously they still screwed it up, but the way Wanted could have been, how they not screwed it up.
Oh my god!
Where it's there were parts where a better example, Kick-Ass, where they had the rape scene and the dog killing scene, and they're we don't need this for the movie, and the movie was still great without it, and it was still dark enough, it still had the comedy. I feel like AMC will kind of do a similar thing with The Preacher.
Well, they still had the scene and had it suggestive, but they kind of went route B.
Yeah, they went to the comedic route instead. And maybe the guy be like, I'm not doing that to that chicken. That chicken's my friend. I don't fuck it. I make love to it.
Yeah, but I mean, that's one scene among many.
I just remember that was the scene that broke you. I'm done with this.
There's literally that one dude, the Nazi guy. I forget his name. Everything, what is it called? Murphy's Law? Or anything bad can happen to you will happen?
Yeah.
That's pretty much him in a nutshell.
But
it's that times 12. Because, I think he takes a shotgun to the arm at one point. Some Doberman pinchers, rip his balls off and eat them in front of him.
Oh, my God.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, me too.
You got a dog on your balls.
I think he gets, flattened by a car or some shit. Just all this horribly comedic, really dark twisted things happen to him. And he's trying to be evil. It's hard to take him seriously because it's just you suck, dude. You're awful. But I don't know. It's just it's not just him. And there's plenty. There's rape scenes there too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but there was one part where Jesse, that's his name. Jesse. Tulip. Man, now it's all coming back to me. Tulip was his girlfriend, and then they ended up meeting up again. Jesse, Tulip, and I forget the vampire guy's name. But they go to this guy's house, and his name's Jesus Desaad. And he's he runs these parties. He's this super uber rich guy, and he runs these parties out of his mansion in somewhere in, I think, Los Angeles. And you can pretty much have sex with whatever you want.
Yeah.
However you want. So there's people, there's S&M, all your typical gangbangs and all that other stuff, bukkake parties, and all you're just seeing all this suggestive stuff.
Yeah.
Some suggestive, some just There it is.
Some more like right in your
There's
face.
cum on that girl's face. No, I don't know if that's what that was, but it's been a
bullshit.
while since I've read it. But there's literally a part where Jesse, I think he opens a door, and there's a dude and a lady naked with 2 kids in front of them, and telling them to take their shirts off. And the guy just like, one dude looks at him, and then Jesse's just like, he says something to the Jesus guy, and then he was just like, yeah, we what do you call it? He's like, you would let something like this happen? And he's just like, yeah, we whet all appetites. And then before that, when it introduces him, Jesus to Sod for the first time, his butler comes in with a platter, and there's an armadillo in it, a live armadillo. He's just like, yeah, set the armadillo down on the bed. I shall fuck it.
Oh my god! Really?
Yes. Like he fucked the armadillo just because he was bored. Because he had never done it. Like that's literally how twisted this dude is. Like he is
almost like the Romans.
Yeah.
They're like, well, I've had sex with all the people I can have sex with.
He had sex with people, dead people, kids, midgets, whatever.
Cleaners.
Like he wants to.
Oh man.
He wants to have sex with every like taboo fetish there is.
Yeah.
You know, like that's his like goal in life.
Yeah,
and the reason why he calls himself Jesus, because he's like the not the savior, but I don't know what, like the equivalent of Jesus but for debauchery.
Yeah.
You know, he's like the Jesus of debauchery. And so there's like shit like that. So when Jesse sees that, you know, he has the power of the word, which is like the word of God. So if he gets angry, in print, I don't know how they'll do it in the show. That'll be interesting. But in print, when he starts using the word, the letters are red, and they're all like holy looking, like they were out of the King James Bible. And anything that he says, they have to do.
Oh, I see.
So there was a guy that I remember at the beginning. There was like a agent that was trailing him, and he shoots one agent, and the other agent, he's just like, you can't leave this beach until you count every grain of sand. And so the guy's like, he doesn't want to, but like he's compelled to because the word's been put into him. So like his body takes that command. So he starts like counting every grain, and then water washes up on the shore, and like 10 seconds after he starts, and he's just like he's about to start crying because he just like it sets in the realization like I really can't leave, and I'm not gonna be able to count every grain because it's just the water's just gonna keep washing all the sand away, everything that I count. So he's like stuck there like crying and still counting because he can't not count.
Could he just like lay back on the beach like, well, I guess I won't leave then?
No, he can't. He's literally like his body is compelled to like grab every grain of sand no matter what he wants to do and count. And like there's that secondary thought with like I want to stop but I can't. How do I stop? 1, 2, 3, you know? And then so this one the dude that was going to bang the kids, they get all scared, whatever. And I think he tells one of them like, fuck yourself. And so the dude starts like bending his body, and you hear like the spine cracking and shit.
Oh my god!
And then like he puts his dick in his own dick in his mouth, but like he dies because he breaks his spine or some shit like that, or he's hospitalized. I forget the specifics, but I just remember.
I want to see this on AMC.
I remember those vivid memories.
That's AMC viewers, fans of The Walking Dead, and Breaking Bad, and Mad Men. This is what you have to look forward to.
That's why I wanted it on HBO, because I knew they wouldn't skimp on the details, and I remember listening to that news when I was watching The Wire. First got it on Netflix, so maybe it was about 08, 09. So probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And I remember being like really excited, like, dude, that's awesome because The Wire's awesome. And people liked The Sopranos because it was pretty out there. So this will be really great. And then a couple of years later, I was watching Eastbound and Down. But I mean, that show's funny, and that show's really out there. But, I mean, I just thought that Preacher would be a really great fit for the HBO lineup.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And then when I found out it got canceled, and James Marsden was supposed to play Jesse, and then that all, like, fizzled out, and I was, like, really sad. And then nothing happened with it, so I was just like, okay, whatever.
HBO actually read the comic. They're like, they just shut it, put it back on the pile. But, I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing, though, with that stuff just being like par for the course. It's like HBO definitely seems like a better home for it than AMC. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see like what they end up doing with it. Like what corners they cut, or they're just going to be like, hey, we're just putting it out there. We're going to see what we can get away with.
Yeah. Well, that was the other thing. Like when I found out that The Boys was being produced as a film by the guy, what's his name? He's the guy that did like Step Brothers and stuff. Like he's the guy that's always working with Will Ferrell. I forget his fucking name.
John C. Reilly?
No, he's the director.
Judd Apatow.
Yeah. Fucking Judd Apatow.
Michael Bay.
Anyways,
I think it was Michael Bay.
He did The Other Guys. He did Step Brothers. He directed those movies, and so he was handling the script and he was going to direct The Boys. But you hear so little about it, and supposedly they were supposed to be starting like
Adam McKay.
Yeah, that's what it was. They were supposed to be starting production later this year and like filming, but as far as I know, like they still haven't got past the scripting phase because they're having trouble. I remember reading as far back. The last thing I had read, I think, was back in July or August, and they were going through like a second or third draft or something like that. And I was just like, yeah. I remember first reporting on it like in November last year.
Yeah.
And then like 6, 7 months, 8 months later, I was like, yeah, that's probably not a good sign.
It's in development hell.
Yeah.
Never to surface again. Well, another superhero-ish news. Oh, do you have something else?
No, I said we'll see.
Oh, yes. Yes, we will. Or maybe we won't see if it doesn't get made. Oh. So Christian Bale has revealed the origin of his bat voice. So basically, let's see here.
What is it?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a bat, Bruce Wayne. He told MTV. So I said, I got there. They put me in Val Kilmer's suit, which I wonder why they picked that one of all the suits. Like maybe that was the only one that they just had lying around. I'm sure. Like, I kind of feel like everyone else would have taken. Well, maybe Clooney would have listed his too. But I kind of see like Michael Keaton taking his. But anyway, so I said, I got there. They put me in Val Kilmer's suit. It didn't even fit properly, and I stood in it, and I went. I feel like an idiot. What kind of guy walks around dressed like a bat? And is this gonna go? Hello, how are you? Just ignore that I'm dressed like a bat. Of course, he means to doing this. If you look at the history of the guy and the pain he went through, I can't do this in a normal voice. I had to become a beast in order to sell this to myself. So basically he says, I went home that evening and my wife said, how'd it go? I kind of did this, and I showed her, and she went, oh, you fucked that one up, didn't you? Then he said, thank God they went for it. So basically, yeah, so I guess, like, I don't know, it was just kind of funny, like, his wife's reaction to the voice, which is like, yeah, that sounds retarded. But, you know, but it was just funny that, it ended up working, but two, like, it's one of the things that people have, like, one of the biggest beef was, especially with the second movie, where it's like, oh my God, the Batman voice is ridiculous. So I don't know, maybe his wife knew it all. But he also had some advice for Ben Affleck. He said, you can't play Batman, you suck. No, he said, the voice ain't for everybody. Ben's obviously going to have to do his own thing. But it was the only way that I could find to get into that and justify wearing a freaking bat suit. Otherwise, he's just loopy beyond belief. He's loopy. But he's loopy with a method to his madness. I look forward to seeing what Ben can do with it. And I'm out.
Drop the mic.
Yeah, he had it right.
Mic.
He said, this isn't an interview.
I feel like that voice became endearing to me. I really loved the Batman series for that voice.
Yeah, you know, the funny thing is, like, I never really noticed it until I was watching a YouTube video. They're making fun of it where he's interrogating the Joker.
The Joker, yeah.
He's like, I can't understand what you're saying. Are you speaking bad? It's like, and then, like, from that moment on, like, the fact that they were poking fun of it made me love it even more.
Yeah.
So now I love the Batman voice.
Yeah, me too.
It was almost like the Bane voice. For like the first 10 minutes of the movie, I was just like, I am going to hate this fucking movie.
I know. And by the end of it, we were laughing so hard. Yeah. Like, little things he was saying. Like, the part where there was like, for you.
Full memory. Yeah.
You're a tough guy. You seem like you could take it for you.
Yeah, it's like, what would happen if you took the mask off? It would be extraordinarily painful. You're a tough guy. You can take it. Yeah.
Do you feel in control? When he puts the back of his hand on that guy's shoulder.
Oh yeah.
We're in control now.
Power.
Yeah.
But yeah, I ended up loving the voices. Like it's so
when
over
he's
the
telling
top.
that guy to go down into the sewers to
Oh, he just shoots
to find Commissioner Gordon. He's like, "What are you waiting for? Go on!" And like shoots him. I was like, "How are you gonna hate this?" Like, I kind of hated it, but after a while, it's like this is just like so campy. It's like it's fun
because it's just like very unique.
Yeah,
you know, like no one has that type of voice. I don't know. It was just fun. It just ended up just making the character like that much more enjoyable.
Yeah,
and just the stuff that's like unintentionally funny.
Because I mean, you think about it, like with the little like fight time that he had. Because there wasn't a whole lot, and even like the end, it was just kind of like, yeah, I mean, it's kind of lame.
Yeah,
There's like no real, like you're thinking like this really cool fight, but it's like at no point in any of the movies is there like a real like choreographed like fight scene like Ombak or something like that, where it's just like trading kicks and punches. It's just like, you know, he's just disarming people or you know, incapacitating them, you know, for the whole time. So it's just like real quick, like one-offs if he's fighting like a group of guys, or if he was having like he never went like one-on-one with the Joker. Like he punched him once or twice, but the Joker just laughs. And then with Bane, like he just got his back broken in like a minute.
Yeah,
you know, so there wasn't really fight scenes. It was just like altercations, more or less.
I don't know. I don't really blame those movies as much.
I don't blame him either.
Batman Begins, I do.
No,
because there were 4 ninjas, and I wanted to see Batman fight some fucking ninjas. I mean, he's like, I'm just gonna dive at you. Cutscene.
My point, my point is like you didn't see a lot of action not even through the whole franchise, but just in the third movie, you didn't see a whole lot of action. Like, what do you expect of Bane? Like, how do you expect him to be memorable? It's like the voice, because the other thing was the mask was a huge hindrance. I think the mask was atrocious. I still don't like the mask. They could have done so much better.
Yeah,
so much better.
Just giving him a luchador mask like he's supposed to have.
Right.
Yeah, they could have given him like a air pack that looked like a flamethrower pack or something. Yeah. He just walks around with that or something. I don't know. It's just something.
Basically anything.
Just anything that could have justified a mask, and didn't even have to look like that mask. It could have been like a breathing apparatus to where it was like, you know, where you could still see his mouth and hear him talk, but it's like, you know, it funnels out air, like little puffs of air, so that he breathes it in while he's talking, you know, or like through his nose so that he can still talk out of his mouth, and he's still getting the serum that he needs to go through his nose, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there's just so many cool things you could have done, and you went for the one thing that completely, like, muffles him.
Yeah.
And it ruined it, and then they had to redo everything, so it sounded a little more awkward than it probably should have. But I mean, the voice is what brought it all together, and the voice is what made people remember the movie more or less. At the very least, Bane made people remember Bane. And because of the lack of fight scenes, it's like Tom Hardy had to bring something besides muscle, because he wasn't even allowed to display that very much.
All he needs to bring.
Yeah, he wasn't even allowed to display that very much. So it's like, okay, well then how does he make it his? You know, how does he bring this like incredible role to the movie? With and not necessarily having to like outdo like Heath Ledger, but at the same time like at least make it, you know, a worthy third movie in the trilogy. Is like, yeah, you had to do something with the voice. The voice was the only thing that you could have, you know, manipulated within his own power to make it his own, and just be like, okay, I've made my mark in this franchise.
Yeah.
We're good to go.
Well, especially because the whole thing with a lot of actors, like, you know, a lot of their facial expressions is the way, you know, they convey emotion and stuff.
Yeah.
And since you can't see his face, you know, like, you know, completely agree with what you're saying. It's like the voice is really like all he had besides like body language.
Yeah.
But
even body language, well, like, oh my god. The best part of if you go with body language is when Batman and Catwoman like team up, and they're like escaping, and Bane's just walking with his hands on his collar, just with that pimp walk. I was like, dude, I just fucking wet myself, man. That was so awesome. I loved it.
Oh man, but yeah, I mean, just a testament to how good the voice was, despite all the bitching. Like, people still do the voice. People are quoting it for forever. Like, it's ridiculous. Yes. It's almost cartoonish, but it's fun.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and especially for such a bleak movie where you can still like laugh, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not only that, but there was tons of great lines. So.
Yeah. I wonder which would break first, your body or your bank account.
But yeah, it's good. It's good that he's got good things to say about Ben Affleck because I don't.
I don't even know if he had good things. He's just like he was almost veiled, where he's like, "Yeah, don't try and do my voice because you can't do it."
Yeah, you find your own thing, pal. Or I'm gonna go to your house. I'm gonna fuck you up, Boston style.
He's like, "Oh, are you not a professional? Get out of my set! Get out of my light! I'm trying to do this right here. You stupid motherfucker!" He's like, "Oh, sorry.
Give me a goddamn kolache."
Oh man, I don't know. I want to see just like a behind the scenes of Christian Bale just flipping out on people, like his best of hits.
What else would you got?
We have Nightwing. Speaking of the Dark Knight, Nightwing joins the DC TV universe of Arrow.
See, I was kind of confused by that because I remember hearing the rumor about Nightwing supposedly being in the Batman Superman film.
Well, see, the whole thing was like there were rumors that someone was going to play him, so people assumed that's what it was going to go to.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like
when I had heard this, I thought it was just a confusion of rumors.
Yeah, I think it was just a misinterpretation of rumors. I think people heard it and they jumped on it, like, oh, maybe it's going to be in this movie, when really it's like, yeah, that was never the plan.
Gotcha.
So I think that's what it was. But, yeah, basically, so it's going to be played by Steve McQueen. I think I died. Vampire Diaries.
Someone stole his name.
So I guess he said he's excited about the role. He tweeted a picture of himself getting in shape. So all it is like a rippling like bicep and shoulder muscle. Him doing like some curls. Hammer curls.
So like the cover of that fucking
I think we got a comment.
It's the fucking Abercrombie and Fitch fucking picture.
They don't fit perfectly.
It's just a picture of the Green Arrow dude with the fucking brown sash. And nothing but ripped abs.
Oh, man.
Green Arrow.
You got beef, man. You seem a little jealous.
Huh?
You seem a little jealous.
No, it's because it has nothing to do with the show.
Like,
just
I have a pot belly.
with the ripped abs, and then he's just kind of staring there, and he has like a sash, and it's just Arrow.
Well, we almost had a listener. Justin Piat said, I haven't seen that Arrow episode yet. Got to sign off before I hear too much. Have a good night, fellas.
Oh, that's Justin Piat, Unlikely Hero Studios.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, well, dude, cool.
We're not really going to spoil it if you're still listening, because it's more just a news article, and none of us have actually seen any of it. So, but we can't spoil that you will see ripped abs on the cover if you watch Arrow, and you'll see a rippling bicep whenever Nightwing makes his appearance.
If you like Ripley abs with water sprayed on them.
I would like something green
or
baby oil.
Motion, and you see.
I would just like something Green Arrow related to get me into the show on the cover.
So, and then what's the actor's name that's playing?
Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen, that's right.
I know it's funny that they mentioned like Green Arrow. Someone was saying that Jax from Sons of Anarchy would make a good Green Arrow, at least looks wise.
Yeah, but then you go into the whole thing like he's gonna be typecast as like the kind of like scraggly blonde hero dude.
But I mean,
he's not even a hero right now, though.
Well, yeah, but the way the show's written, that's a lot of people consider him a hero.
I don't think it will propel him into being typecast, though. I think he'll just be doing another gig.
I don't know.
He's been in like 3 things. He
was going to do, what's that, 50 Shades of Grey. I don't think he would have been a hero then.
No, he's not doing it anymore.
Well, not anymore, yeah, because they like sent him like death threats. He's like, fine, bloody bastards, I'm not going to do it anymore.
Why they sent him death threats?
Because I guess he didn't portray the character they saw in their head when they read that stupid book. It's like, oh, he's too detailed. I don't know. Because people get so upset over casting that they have to threaten to kill somebody.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I don't know, just a complete tangent. With the whole, like, Ben Affleck thing. It's like, yeah, I wasn't happy about Ben Affleck being Batman. But how dare you call yourself a Batman fan if you're going to threaten to kill somebody?
Yeah.
It's like, kind of missing the point there, buddy. Yeah. You know? Now, if you're a Joker fan, par for the course. Go right ahead. But,
Right.
But not the Dark Knight. But anyway. Okay, well, they're trying to tie the rumor into the Batman vs. Superman rumor.
Okay.
They're like, well, maybe he'll be the same character in the DC Marvel universe, which I still really doubt that they would do that. Because I doubt we're going to see, if they do make a Justice League movie, I doubt they're going to bring the same guy from Arrow and have him be it. You know? I mean,
yeah, because if that was the case, it might as well have used, like, Tom Welling.
Who's Tom Welling?
Come on,
Superman
bro.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I never saw Smallville.
Do you even Superman?
No.
No, you
I
don't.
don't.
Actually.
Well, the guy that played,
bad, sir.
Well, the guy that played
that was
Oliver,
foolish of me. I'm sorry.
The guy that played Oliver Queen in Smallville played Aquaman in the Aquaman show.
Oh, okay.
It just fucking
There was an
doesn't make any
Aquaman
sense.
show.
There's a pilot.
Yeah, there's a pilot.
And there's a whale.
Oh,
Really
yeah. I
feverishly.
remember.
So maybe the guy that's playing Arrow in the Arrow show will play Flash in the movie, and the guy playing Flash will play Martian Manhunter, and the guy that played Superman in the show will play Cyborg, and they'll just mash them all up.
Cyborg's black.
Now in the movie universe.
You know that. Well, we actually got another comment.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting that I kind of brought this up on myself, I guess.
So now I'm still around. I was half holding my ears and LOL at the ripped abs. And they're glistening in the sun.
Arrow.
You know how much of a stink people would raise if you got, let's say we put Tom Welling as Cyborg.
Uh-huh.
But then, you know, there's people that were talking about,
Tom Welling is Cyborg.
yeah, you know, how much people would raise a stink like, no, we need our black character. But there's people that want, what's her name from Firefly? Well, she's like Cuban or Puerto Rican, but for color
Wonder
purposes,
Woman.
she's black.
Yeah.
And people were wanting her to play Wonder Woman.
Yeah. And that is an excellent choice, sir. I don't know. I mean, it's like
to me, I have no issues either way.
Yeah.
But I find it a little hypocritical that I just in my heart I feel like people would raise that kind of stink.
They would. I don't know. This is just my argument for that. Yes, it is hypocritical and it's biased, but it's like there's like 5 black superheroes. So it's like people feel like there's like so few opportunities for like any black actors to play these. So it's like you're going to take away like the few that we have. So then it's like in order for most black actors to play like if you take Thor, like the only way a black person could even get into that movie is to play a character that was traditionally white.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it's kind of like that. Now
all the Aryans raise a stink. Remember that?
That they did. My heart goes out to them.
I remember actually like talking to a dude in the jail about that. He was just like, "Man, you see racial epitaph playing." I forgot what he plays in the movie.
Heimdall.
Yeah. I always forget. Yeah, playing Heimdall. I was like, "Are you even familiar?" I was like, "I'm not familiar. I'm familiar with the Marvel lore. I'm not familiar with the ancient Norse mythology." And then the guy's just like, "Man, get out of here. You don't even know, man." I'm like, all right, cool.
You know, it's reactions like that make me want them to cast that chick as Wonder Woman, just to piss people like that off.
Well, I just remember Joe Quesadilla came out and him saying, I think it was a statement he had, and was just like, "Yeah, we do have those characters based off Norse mythology, but we're not using the Norse mythology as a background, so there's no reason to be mad or upset." It's like, I understand where you're coming from, but these are our Marvel-made characters, not from Norse mythology, from the fairy tales.
Well, that's the thing. It's like even in the continuity of the comics, like they're not from Earth. Like they're not the gods. Like they thought that those are the mythical creatures, but they're not. You know, so it's like it negates that. But I don't know. The fact that it even has to come out to explain that, I would have just came out and said, "Suck my balls."
Yeah,
deal with it. Anyway, Justin says Shaq will come back for Steel. We can only hope because everyone,
awesome.
Dude, the world has been clamoring for Steel too.
Nah, I've been clamoring for Kazam. I've
been clamoring for Steel versus Kazam versus Shaq Fu, the ultimate match ever.
I don't have the patience for that movie.
And non-free throws and crappy knees.
Dude, just a Shaq Fu movie alone, I think that would just destroy Hollywood. I think at that point, everyone would just be like, "All right, we're done with movies." And then
I have
California
so little faith in any Hollywood movie.
Oh man, I have faith in some. I just have a lot less faith than I.
I just go into every single movie I see come out of Hollywood with thinking it's gonna be a shitty movie. I went to Avengers thinking it was gonna be shitty as well.
Avengers.
I'm just gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
And just because I can never be disappointed.
Avengers was one of the few where I got way hyped for it, and I was not disappointed at all.
Yeah.
Like it was I think it was just like all the films leading up to it, and Marvel, for the most part, was doing such a good job. It was like I think it's funny because a lot of people thought like there's no way they could do Avengers right.
Yeah.
And like it never even crossed my mind. I was like, there's no way they could do this wrong.
Yeah.
As long as they punch stuff really hard, I'll be happy.
It's true.
Well, that's what I was. You know, we were having dinner at my parents yesterday with Jose Villarreal. We kind of. He didn't want me to spoil Thor 2, but he wanted to know our thoughts on it. You know, it was like, what do you guys think? So we told him our thoughts on it. And because I guess he was hearing a lot of people didn't really care for it.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy that he was going to see it with, Alexander D. Alexander.
Aaron
D. Alexander. Yeah, Alexander. Yeah, he loved it. That was like his favorite Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Like, so far. And I was like, I would kind of put it up there, maybe just a little, like a notch below Thor 1. But I was like, I definitely really enjoyed it. I think it's better than a lot of movies, probably a little better than the Avengers. And then he was like, wow, that's a bold statement. I was like, yeah, but I mean, I think people give, we were talking about how people give Avengers too much hype.
Yeah, but then there's taking it down too many notches as well. Say Thor 2 is better than fucking Avengers? Even close to it?
Yeah, I have to agree with Beetle, because I enjoyed Thor.
There's like taking something off of a pedestal, but then there's like, no, it's really not that good. There's taking it down too much.
I didn't even say that, though.
No, but there's you went a little bit too contrasty with it. There's like, no, it's not on a pedestal, but then you put it lower than it needs to be. Also.
Well, I mean, that's like your opinion, man. No, but
well, everything we're talking about on the podcast is our opinion.
Work with me.
Everything that comes out.
No, I am. I'm just explaining another side of that, though.
No, I get it.
Opinions.
My whole thing was, I think, because don't get me wrong, I loved Avengers when it first came out. And I was all into it. Just like Iron Man 3, you saw me, I was like, this is probably one of the better movies. And you were like, no, yeah, I agree. And then like 2 days later, we formulated our opinions like, this is garbage, there's flaws, this movie sucks balls. We read these other reviews, they made good points, and it fucking blows.
I think I hated Iron Man 3 before the movie.
No, you hate Iron Man 3 now, but when we were walking out the theater, and I was like all excited. I was like, it was a damn good movie. And you were like, I agree, man. That was pretty fun. That was
I never
badass.
said that. That's
yes, you
the
did.
Record.
You fucking did.
That never happened. My
did.
Client did not say that. And
you did. You freaking did.
The thing is, you can do that with movies that you even like. Like the one where we picked apart so much is The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight has more plot holes than a lot of movies. It has a lot, and
we've talked about it extensively on the podcast.
Yeah, that's the thing. We still like it. I still think it's the best of the series. Yeah. The best of the trilogy, but it's not very good, like well written out.
Okay, my whole thing with the Avengers, and we've talked about this before, so I don't want to get too into it, but
flawed.
The flaws in the movie, there was too much dialogue. There wasn't enough Hawkeye to justify him even being in the movie. Because
say that.
No, because like even Jeremy Renner makes he made a good point in my opinion, where he was just like, yeah, I was in the movie, but I didn't even get to play Hawkeye. I got to play a possessed version of him.
Yeah.
That they automatically trust as soon as he snaps out of it. Because, the heart of the city's in danger. So it's like, all right, let's go do this. But he's gone for, the majority of the beginning of the movie.
I don't think that means that that doesn't justify him being in the movie. I mean,
well, okay, maybe not necessarily. But you could have easily written him out of the movie and no one would have noticed. There would have been minor changes made. No, you could have had him out of the movie and just made subtle alterations and just had him completely phased out of the film.
I would have noticed in my heart.
Because I think what they should have done was give him a role in Thor 1 the way they did with Black Widow in Iron Man 2.
Well, he was there for 5 seconds.
5 fucking seconds!
He shot him with the arrow.
Scarlett Johansson was in the entirety of Iron Man 2, even helping with the fight scenes.
I would say Mark Ruffalo had about as much screen time as Hawkeye.
You're going to sit there and tell me, when the Warriors 3 couldn't take on that metal monster, Hawkeye couldn't have been there, looking out for Coulson's back or fucking something.
I don't know. I don't think that...
It's also having to pay a whole nother caliber actor. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I don't know. Well, yeah.
No, he's not a high caliber actor.
I didn't say
he didn't even
caliber,
get that much for
but
Avengers.
You're paying another main character to be in your movie. I think you pay them by the fucking day, not by, hey, you're going to do this fucking... Well, I don't know that for sure, obviously, but I'm just saying another... If you got Jeremy Renner, he's a name. Mm-hmm. You're not having another guy. Hey, can you do the scene real quick? You have to call Jeremy Renner and pay him and get him down there for this.
I will just say this: Marvel has Disney money, so money is inconsequential. Yeah, they do now. They have when they made Thor, they had the money.
Yeah, I don't know. They
had to
spend the money.
To me, money's not really that big of a deal, considering they made millions off of it. They could have justified it completely.
Either way, I don't know. I don't think he necessarily needed to be in Thor. I think if anything, his
absence... He didn't, but it definitely would have helped when he goes into the movie, because you see the kind of character that Hawkeye is, And for the most part, when you're talking to general audiences that have no idea who Hawkeye or Black Widow or these tertiary characters are, and then he gets introduced, and you're like, well, I don't understand. Is he a good guy or a bad guy?
But most people also don't really care about him. He's like, of the Avengers, he's the least popular, which is why I think they gave him...
But for those of us that do
care... Well, I know. I mean, look,
it would have been a nice nod.
I'm one of the biggest Hawkeye fans. I was bummed that he wasn't
That's why I consider it a flaw.
Well, no. Because to go to the other side of your point, you're saying when you get introduced to him, you don't know if he's like good or bad guy. He's like the first character you see when you see the movie. He's like one of the first people, like Sam Jackson, Hawkeye, and the scientist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you introduce him, you see
But
Hawkeye.
if you didn't see Thor and you just saw this creepy dude up in the rafters with a bow and arrow, you're like, what the fuck is his issue?
Yeah, but you figure it out as the movie goes along, though.
Well, yeah, you do.
I mean, they don't have to spoon feed everything. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that should knock the movie.
To me, it wasn't a matter of spoon feeding. It was just kind of like justifying his badassness before he's doing it all for the bad guys, you know?
Yeah. Well, I talking about him and
Thor. Where, like, he doesn't put up much of a fight against Loki, and that's, like, the sad part to me, where it's just kind of like he was just kind of thrown in.
He's a god, though.
And he had a magic staff. He had the freaking Tesseract, right?
No.
Come on, buddy.
No.
Well,
According to Odin.
He didn't have it yet. But either way.
We are susceptible to death, just as the humans.
But I don't know. But either way.
Hulk couldn't
that's
kill
a whole
Loki,
other
though.
point. But I don't know. To me, like, if anything, his absence bothers me more from him not being in the new Captain America. That to me is like there makes no sense to have like Black Widow there, have freaking Falcon. It's like you're not going to send Hawkeye like on these missions. Like he's part of like him and like Black Widow are supposed to be like a team.
Yeah.
And he's just just sitting there just making quills and shit.
Yeah.
Justin says it would have been a flaw if he wasn't there. It would have been a huge mistake to have too much Hawkeye and not enough Thor or Hulk. I only saw it once, but I didn't really mind him being there. So there you go.
Yeah, I agree. But I don't know. I would just like to have seen a lot more Hawkeye.
I completely agree. But to me, that doesn't destroy the movie. I mean, it
doesn't destroy the movie, but it didn't make me like it anymore.
Yeah.
After all the hype and the adrenaline went away in my system, and I could sit there and look at it objectively and be like, yeah, this movie definitely needed more Hawkeye.
I agree, but it also needed more Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did, definitely.
Yeah, oh my god.
But I don't know. I still can't see Thor 2 in any way.
But see, the thing is, they made up for that with the dialogue, with the witty lines and stuff, and the interaction between him and Iron Man.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think there should have been more Captain America fight scenes, but I mean, we had a good Thor Hulk scene.
But Cap couldn't shoot one guy.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
that scene?
yeah, and the thing, he's just sitting there like aiming and just like
Oh,
how do you throw this fucking huge chunk of metal like a fucking frisbee?
I fast forward.
You can't throw bullets in one general
I
direction.
feel so bad for Cap. He's like, dude, this gun, this is the one thing you got, bro. You are a soldier, and this is just way better than what you had before. You should just be like, pop, pop, pop.
Yeah,
right?
It really should be completely accurate.
He's like providing cover fire for himself. He's
like, he has eagle eyes, you know?
The suppressive fire.
Suppressive fire.
Battlefield.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty weak. I don't know. It's one of those things again where they do stuff for the convenience.
Yeah,
which is annoying. Because
I just don't like it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's lazy writing where it's just like, okay, you could have just wrote it better instead of just being like, oh, I'm just going to shoot a silhouette around this guy.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Stormtrooper training.
Yeah. Maybe that's where they thought him out. That's the school they put him through. Yeah. You're too accurate, Cap. This movie's not going to last a full 90 minutes if you keep killing everybody. Yeah. So we need you to shoot around in their general direction so they get really scared. So I don't know. We could go on forever debating about which one's better, but we all know that the Avengers is the best. And Thor 2 is good, but not that great.
You say
Edward
so,
Norton
man.
Hulk is the best.
That is also the best because Liv Tyler's in that movie as well.
Because Edward Norton's in it.
Yeah, both of them together.
William Hurt.
Who's William Hurt?
Tim Roth.
Yeah, Tim Roth. Oh my god.
William Hurt. He was Thaddeus Ross.
Yeah.
Oh, Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
See, when you say it like that, I don't know who you're talking about.
See, when you say it like that.
You're so bad with names. It's funny because I have terrible memory, but I can remember like any kind of name more or less.
Well, there's like certain actors I just never learned their names. Like there's certain ones that I know and I know a lot
even
about.
Even comic book characters.
But I don't know who's in the movie. But that's the thing is most movie stars I know them by whatever character I've seen them in.
I don't know. I will let most of that slide, but William Hurt.
I see that name doesn't even ring a bell to me. Now, William Dafoe, that's a William I know.
Dafoe.
That's Willem.
Avenge me!
Avenge me!
See, if that guy would have had a scene like
that,
I
feel like
of the spirit.
I feel like he when he was prepping for that scene in Spider-Man 2, he was like, "Avenge me!" He just got done watching Wolverine.
did he want to avenge
Charlie
that
Sheen
movie?
and Patrick Swayze's dad are like, "Avenge me, boys!
Red Dawn.
Avenge me!" It was like the same, like in the same vein of anger.
I'm pretty sure you just watched that movie.
Well, Spider-Man is wearing red, so maybe you thought he was a Russian.
We thought he was a Wolverine.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go ahead and say, just fuck this new Spider-Man. I don't like it. I don't like Andrew Garfield. I don't see him growing on me. I don't want him to grow on me.
Well, I kind of came out of left field.
He's growing on you
Because
like
he said
bold.
Spider-Man. It just got me mad.
I will
I'm
say
angry.
his costume looks really good. Like, it's probably the best costume.
I agree.
Well, yeah,
But
they've
I
had
do
like a
wish
decade to work
somebody
on
else
it.
was in it.
I don't like that Peter Parker.
And you know half the movie he's not going to have his mask for no reason at all. Just like, oh, I need more FaceTime. Hold on.
Oh, I need my fucking large-ass hair to be standing up.
Perfectly
I
styled.
don't get why people hate on like Toby. Like that guy looks like a nerd.
I'm pretty sure Andrew Garfield's cool. I'm not hating on the way he looks as a person.
I am.
He's like 17 years old, whatever, you know. But you're not Peter Parker. Like, you need to be a real fucking nerd that people didn't like in high school, which Tobey Maguire portrayed very well.
Yeah.
Just sitting himself at the lunch table, just looking awkward, like not like.
Like you look at his eyes and they're already like that weird watery to where it's like, is he motherfucking gonna cry?
He does
Exactly.
look like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's like how he was. That when he talks to Harry, you can see the contrast. Like they're best friends. He's just like you see him all talkative, then you see like Mary Jane. He's like,
Yeah.
hey. You're just like, yeah, this guy is not good with women. And then you see the Andrew Garfield one. He just like he says all the right things. He's such a smart wit. You know, it doesn't matter who he's around. He's always got the right thing to say. It's like, no, go.
Yeah, they
yourself.
definitely butchered who Peter Parker is as a character.
He's
like,
literally too full of confidence.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
He's a dick.
Yeah.
He's a complete dick.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's when you watch that movie, like it has other flaws, but that to me is the main flaw. Like you can't even root for him because he's such an asshole. It's just like whatever. Please kill this guy. Give his spider powers to Miles Morales or something, and just restart the series. You know.
Is that the 2099?
No, that's the
that's the ultimate, the new Ultimate Spider-Man.
the new mulatto
that's the
Spider-Man.
Latino Spider-Man for the kids.
The 2099 is Latino. It's Miguel, not Miguel Sanchez.
Miguel O'Hara or something like
Conversation
that.
before.
It's Miguel's. Yeah, it's Miguel something.
Miguel. Justin says he completely agrees with the Toby thing. The new guy was no Peter Parker. Peter Parker doesn't gorilla dunk in front of the entire school or do a Tony Hawk trick. So much. Okay, he gets his fucking spider powers. And can you imagine if like any of us got like, oh, you have super strength, you can swing with web, you can do all the crazy acrobatics. He spends his time skateboarding. Like, fucking people can skateboard now. I can't.
When Toby got those powers, he was running on rooftops immediately.
Away, web.
Exactly. Anybody would be doing that.
I'm up and away.
Hold on. Watch me grind and do a kickflip. Oh, ridiculous.
I remember the fucking first time the original Spider-Man, well, not the original, but, you know, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, the first one, where he's like the up and away web. But when he does his first swing, he just hits the billboard, slides off, and it just transitions to him running home.
Cuts to him jogging to his
I
house.
fucking love that scene so much. Just like, yep, that's Spider-Man.
I was actually watching at Mom's house with Jet. Yeah. Jet was like loving the movie for the parts that he paid attention. I just remember looking at that part. I was like, I caught myself like smiling and then laughing.
Gold, yeah.
It's so good.
It says, he's supposed to have worked, or he's supposed to work at the Daily Bugle. I didn't see the new one, but the last one didn't have J. Jonah Jameson or the Bugle, and that was a deal breaker.
They probably couldn't replace the fucking actor.
That is true. He's like, he was the best.
He was J. Jonah Jameson,
yeah. This one's for JJ.
Yeah, this one's for JJ. Oh, Marvel 2.
So I don't know. It just bothers me so much because I love the supporting cast of Amazing Spider-Man. I would just wish they would have not wrote a hipster Peter Parker. It was,
that's basically it. Everybody else was pretty good. I mean, I was about to say Emma Frost.
Emma Stone was
Emma Stone was great. Dennis Leary was fantastic.
Yeah, I think we all agree. Like, I think we agree. Like, the biggest plot point was like him going into the building without the SWAT team.
I got my whole SWAT team. You guys stay here. I'm dead.
Stay here, SWAT team. I'll call you if I need you.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Guys, remember when I said I'd call you? Now would be a good time.
There's a big ass lizard up here.
There's a big lizard that took down my whole strike team. I probably should have brought a little bit more backup than a kid in a freaking Halloween costume. That's bagging my daughter on the regular. So
that's good.
Yeah, can't wait for versus Spider-Man.
Yeah,
right. And more Marvel news. Terrance-Howard. Oh,
yeah. So would it be Rhodey again?
The silence comes out.
Well, apparently he's pointing the blame at Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, God.
For him being ousted as Rhodey.
I thought it was his fucking pay.
Well, it kind of has to do with that.
Yeah,
well. It's more like he's
related.
Butthurt that Downey never said anything like for him.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, because this story has been told before, where pretty much like supposedly he had signed a contract for all 3 Iron Man movies, and he was supposed to get the same pay for each one. And then the second one came out, they're like, well, we're going to play you a fraction of what we paid you for the first one.
Like an 1/8.
Yeah.
Damn.
So he called up Robert Downey Jr., and he said Robert Downey Jr. didn't call him back for like 3 months. And supposedly he helped Robert Downey Jr. land the role. So he was like butthurt, where, then obviously they're like, because they pretty much they told him, like, we can make just as much money or more without you, so we're getting Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
So he's all... So he was this butthurt that Robert Downey Jr. didn't come to his aid. Or Downey Jr. was probably like, yeah, you see these zeros on this paycheck that I'm going to keep getting for 2 more movies? Yeah. I'm not going to piss off this studio. He's like, I just got out of rehab. I'm trying to restart my career. I don't need you dragging me down.
Sure.
Because I'm so sick and tired.
That's Cuba, dude. It's Cuba.
Oh, is it? See, I always get them confused. I'm sorry. They look so much the same.
It's the high top page.
I'm not even joking. The first time I saw Terrance-Howard, I thought it was Cuba Gooding Jr.
Wow.
And I will continue to think that it's him until they put them in a movie together that I actually see. Because they have been in a movie together, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it was Red Dogs or some shit like that.
Was it Red? You mean Red Tails?
Red Tails. Weren't they in that together?
You mean Radio?
Red Tails. They were in Red Tails together, weren't they?
That's the one where they're the pilots, the World War II pilots, like the George Lucas movie.
Yeah, George Lucas.
Yeah, they're World War II pirates. Yarr!
The movie,
we need to get the Nazis' booty.
The movie nobody wanted to make.
Yeah, but it was just weird because it's like that was like his passion project. Like he really wanted to make that movie.
Yeah. I remember hearing. I don't know if this is true, but I heard that his wife is black.
Yeah.
And so he kind of like made the movie for her because that was like a big part of history that she was like involved in.
That was her birthday present.
George Lucas's wife.
So I have nothing to say about it. It's in here.
The only thing I have to say about it is like, okay, so his wife's black, but he's gonna make a character like Jar Jar Binks.
He still has no chin.
Just saying. Come on, guys.
Maybe she wanted that.
That's exactly. That's what made it so fucking insulting.
You need to make a character like a Jamaican, but an alien Jamaican. He's like, honey, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's like, do it or I divorce you and take all your money. He's like, honey, that's a great idea. I think I want to do that.
I was recently watching a document or like a review of like
Jamaicans from space.
I watched like a review of like the Star Wars trilogy and stuff. And it has like clips of like how like George Lucas's interaction with like everybody in his studio and stuff. And anyways, his fucking voice, he's always like soft spoken. You sound exactly freaking like him. Like, I think we need to put this in there. I don't know if that was a little bit too much. That's like how he says the whole time.
I don't know. My whole thing is like, even if his ambition was to make a space Jamaican, he still failed miserably. Because Hermes from Futurama, that's a space Jamaican.
Limbos and everything.
Yeah, exactly. He feels lower than a bow-legged caterpillar.
You got a space Australia for Jay. Run into Jace.
So funny. What's space Australia? It's like Australia, but in space. But the funny thing about this article is, like, at the very end, it like kind of contradicts itself because, like, he throws Robert Downey Jr. under the bus, and then they asked him, it's like, so have you talked to him lately? He's like, oh yeah, I love the guy. God bless him. Why are you talking shit? Put on the suit. You don't deserve to wear that suit, Rhodey.
Yeah, you don't. You're gonna wear that. I can't even say it. So dumb.
Yeah, they should have like a DVD extra where he's on set and he's getting suited in the War Machine suit, and Don Cheadle comes out and he's like, "You don't deserve to wear that suit." Then I would love the line. Then it would make sense.
Yeah, then it would make sense.
It's like they should have like how they're doing like the mini Marvel movies for like some of the characters, like Agent Peggy Carter. it's like Terrance-Howard sitting there and he's like looking at the suits, and then Don Cheadle just comes up and like stabs him. He's like, "I'm the new roadie now, bitch." And just like drags him like off the cliff and throws him in the ocean.
God damn.
No one notices that it's a different person.
Yeah.
No one wants to say anything. Like you look different.
Not even RDJ.
He's like, "What? Do I look blacker?" He's like, "No, no, no."
Exactly. Like,
did you get a haircut? It looks great.
Yeah,
thanks.
He just keeps throwing the race car in their face. No. You look the same. Looks like motherfucking Don Cheadle.
The little minigun starts trailing them. You better walk off, motherfucker.
Yes, he has the bunker buster. It won't do anything, but I'll fire it. Might leave a bruise. Might hit you in the shin.
Oh my god. The ex-wife.
That is excessive.
All right, so I got one more topic to end it on.
All right, let's do this.
Is it a hot topic?
Yeah, not really. It's actually pretty lukewarm. But it'll be over in a flash. Because the Flash will be getting a pilot.
Oh! Is he played by Michael Rosenbaum?
Do what?
Is he gonna be played by Michael Rosenbaum?
He doesn't know who that is.
He was played Lex Luthor in Smallville. He played the voice of the Flash for 10 years.
It looks like a kid, so I don't think that's gonna be him.
So he should be the Flash.
Is it Bart?
He's baby Flash.
Ooh, yeah. Bart Allen was the one in Smallville. I don't know which Flash is gonna go with here.
I don't remember. I think it's gonna be Barry Allen.
Oh.
And
What do you think about that, Agamemnon? You're a Flash guy?
Kind of a Flash guy.
Well, you know, like Barry Allen and Wally West, and I don't even know the other one.
Bart.
Okay, it's
They're like
gonna
the
be
only three that you really need to know.
It's gonna be Grant and Gustin. What about Kid Flash?
That's Bart.
That's Bart.
Oh,
Yeah.
from Bart Simpson.
So funny.
I can still blink pretty fast.
But anyway, yeah. So basically, he was supposed to start like exactly what's going to be in an episode of Arrow to introduce the character. For whatever reason, they're like, that seems like too good of an idea. So we're just going to do an individual pilot to introduce him, and hopefully it will actually last.
Do I need to watch that show, Arrow? Is it really good?
I've never seen it.
Have you seen it, Agamemnon?
Nope.
I'm going to watch it. I'm going to get past that poster.
I really have
like
time
a really
to
good
justify
actor.
Netflix.
He's probably like a really good actor, and I'm just giving him shit.
You're going to watch it and be like, nope, the ads were the best part of the show. Justin posted a link. It says, international scandal, Don Cheadle plan Dufar genocide to create film roll. So pretty much to get Terrance-Howard out of the way.
He's down. We know he's capable now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. Yeah, that was like his resume. It's like, so, do you think you're capable of being a character named War Machine? Turn on the news. You see that?
Why don't you ask the country
that
of
was
Uganda?
me.
I'm wanted in. I wanted in Rwanda.
that hotel closed because of me. It's like, I don't think that's how that works.
He just puts his head down and stares at him.
Yeah. Now let me turn you into a tree.
Yeah.
Don't summon me unless you're ready for the pain.
Unless you're ready for that pain.
I totally want them to make that movie. The fact that they're actually making a Captain Planet movie, they better cast Don Cheadle as Captain
Are they
Planet.
going to take pollution down to zero?
Yeah, people are going to be all offended. Captain Planet is blue. He is not black. This is an outrage.
I'll be fucking.
The Norse gods are turning in their graves.
I'll be all for that movie if they make Ralph Macchio the Heart guy.
I'll be freaked out if I saw a blue dude with green hair and
Yeah.
just like real like. Oh, you want to save the planet?
Especially flying.
Throw away that can of Coke.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, even if he wasn't turning people into trees, that would be terrifying. Yeah,
Yeah.
a buff, flying, blue dude with green hair.
Get like MacGyver haircut.
Yeah. Great show.
Can't believe you do that.
I'm trying to think who would play Wheeler.
Which one's Wheeler?
Wheeler's the redhead kid with the fire.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what's his name? The kid from Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Oh, I know.
Danny,
Yeah. The Italian kid, right?
Yeah.
I
The
mean,
Italian.
I want the dude from what's the deal with it guy?
First best, huh?
Oh, what is it? Is it CSI? Where the guy where people made all those memes where it's like deal with it.
Oh, Caruso?
Yeah,
David Caruso?
No, Caruso doesn't play that.
To deal with it?
I want
Yeah.
I want them to have like it starts off where it's like everyone's older and they're like the retired Planetaires and they have to like find a successor. Like Lucy Liu's like the Asian one. And then
So racist.
I'm sorry, but they don't there's like her, Kelly Hu. There's just not that many notable like
Kelly
Asian
Hu?
actors.
She's hot.
But yeah,
She's
you know,
gonna be
let's go
at
Kelly Hu
Comic-Con this
instead.
weekend.
Huh?
She's gonna be at Comic-Con this weekend.
Yeah, that's right.
Is she
Wizard
really?
World.
She's like the real hot Asian in Hollywood, not Lucy Liu.
Lucy Liu is very overrated.
Yeah.
But she was the first one that came to mind.
She was, yeah.
And then I want the chick to play Cersei to play the. She's the one that has the wind, I think. The wind planetary, the blonde one.
Yeah.
I don't know who has the water.
Lena Headey?
Yeah. Then I went Don. No, actually, I guess Don Cheadle could. Oh, Terrance-Howard could play the black dude that has Earth, just so he could be in Don Cheadle's presence.
He'd be like the oldest one.
But never achieve his status. Other than
the anti-Captain Planet.
Yeah, he's the one that ends up turning rogue. You stole my role, Cheadle. Now I'm gonna steal your planet.
I feel like that there needs to be a movie made about that, where it's just Cheadle versus Howard, and whatever vein it is.
Yeah.
Preferably an action movie with lots of hurting.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's just like they're like two assassins sent to kill each other.
It should be called War Machine.
Dude, X versus Sever 2.
Oh god.
But
X versus Sever for the longest time was in my top 3 movies that I fucking hated. Like, I've never seen an action movie so boring until Expendables 2.
Have you seen
I remember it's Kroll.
The Condemned?
I've not seen The Condemned.
With Stone Cold and Vinnie Jones.
Oh, no, I have seen
Where they're on the island?
I have seen that movie.
That's a bad one.
But that one's like...
That was
entertaining.
Yeah, it is entertaining.
X versus Sever was just like, I'm sitting there. I'm like, when is this going to get entertaining? You got Antonio Banderas. You got Lucy Liu. I thought it'd be more entertaining.
Oh, that movie?
Yeah.
Neither of them make love.
Yeah, I just walked out of that movie so angry. Just
Go
like,
watch
this is
Payback.
terrible. Give me back my son!
Give me back. No, that's...
Ransom?
Ransom.
There you go.
Close enough. Give me back
my
my payback.
Give me back my $73,000 or my $35,000.
You shot my luggage. That's just mean.
Yeah, he owes you. You said you owe him $100,000. No, it's $35,000. Man, my boots cost more than that.
Yeah. Oh man, that's such a great movie.
Yeah, it was good.
But going back to Wizard World, Kelly Hu will be there, and so will Punch in the Walls of Reality.
Yeah.
Right there.
Any Star Trek people going to be there?
Not that I know of. I think last year was the Star Trek. Now that you're into the show, then none of them are there.
Yeah, like right when I got into the show, like a year later.
I
am now into you, Jean-Luc.
Jean-Luc. T. Earl Grey.
Yeah, that was like once in a lifetime thing. I think they broke the bank on bringing all those people
I would
there.
imagine, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure they'll get back together at some
Especially
point.
Patrick Stewart.
You got to get the bank.
Now, I wanted to meet...
no one else is doing anything.
I wanted to meet, what's his name? Whoever plays, what's his name? The guy who plays Riker. I want to meet him,
John
and
Riker.
then the guy that plays Worf. I forget both of their names right when I gotta think of it. I fucking
They
watch
were
the
all
show
there.
every fucking day.
And Reading Rainbow was there.
Oh
Yeah,
my
LeVar
god.
Burton.
Jordan LaForge.
I actually would have liked to meet him.
He's one of the coolest characters in that show. He's just awesome.
All right, well, Justin says, Night Fellas, thanks for the laughs. No, thank you, Justin, for listening.
Thank you so much. You gave us a laugh.
And check out UnlikelyHeroesStudios.com. They got a Kickstarter coming up. Comics called Super with an exclamation point at the end.
And it is super.
Is it like the
I
Nathan
love
Fillion movie?
No,
No.
not at all.
Oh, okay.
It's a
Just
comic.
making sure there's no connection.
It's awesome. I'll have to give you the first 2 issues. It's funny as shit.
It's like a lot of
I wanna read
comic
the-
satire.
Want to read the... What are they called? Speedballs? Thunderbolts?
Yeah.
Justice Like Lightning? Is that
Yeah,
Thunderbolts?
Thunderbolts.
Oh, with Deadpool and all them?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, that's Thunderbolts.
Okay.
It's pretty much like all the villains become,
Yeah.
semi-heroes.
He's talking more about it, and I was just like, yeah.
Well, this Thunderbolts is rebranded because it's Thunderbolt Ross's team, Red Hulk.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's kind of a play on words, so to speak.
But check it out. If you're in the Austin area, be sure to check out Wizard World Austin. We'll be there. We'll be there for the latter half of the evening.
Yeah.
Probably around 4 to close, since we didn't get any fucking time off. Because our
Boo.
paymasters are sons of bitches.
Xbox One comes out on Friday, too.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, that's why I couldn't get off.
Always on.
Oh.
He's going to watch you through your Kinect.
Yeah, right.
Be wary. I love how, Xbox, completely backpedaled on, everything. Everything, they were like, oh, man, it's going to be able to do this and this and this. And I was just like, well, now it's just a beefier Xbox 360. Trying to remember. Oh, whatever. That's for another podcast.
Yeah, that's for another podcast. We'll talk about that all that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thanks for listening. This is Prometheus.
This is Bobby Beetle.
And this is Agamemnon.
And this has been Straight
Outta
Austin!
Exclamation mark.
Exclamation mark. Super edition.
Thanks
Crash
for
right
tuning
into Save Yourself.
Go to punchthewallsreality.com.
Yeah, actually go to punchthewallsreality.com.
Go to
Hit up our
punching.
Twitter
Go to the Punching the Walls of Realty.
at PTWOR. You can catch me on Twitter as well at TheJAgamemnon. And you can catch Prometheus there at
Prometheus PTWOR.
and Bobby at Bobby Beetle.
And you can also check us out on Google Plus. If
Google
you
Plus,
do such things.
and look for us on Facebook. We'll have links as always in the on the page.
Add me on PSN, Bobby Beetle.
Don't add me on.
And check out our YouTube as well, Punching the Walls of Reality. We do Let's Plays, and I finally got a bunch of footage for Battlefield. I'll be uploading the next in the Let's Play Tomb Raider Part 4 tonight. And
if you want to check out my recaps for The Walking Dead, they are posted every Thursday.
That's right.
Take forever to do, so make them worthwhile. You bastards.
All right, thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thanks for listening, listeners.